Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. We are doing graph series and our next problem in the list is accounts merge. So let's go to LeetCode. Alright, there it is. So before you solve this problem, I would highly recommend that you either study union find algorithm or watch the video. I have already uploaded a video before coming on to this problem, because I know that union find is the heart of this problem. That is the one core thing that you need to basically solve this problem, although marked medium. I would say it involves a lot of steps, and I would definitely say it's a hard. And all the solutions posted on YouTube or like online, I do not see anyone has like done justice to solving this problem, because this problem everyone has tried to make it seem that how difficult it is and not really explain those steps in detail. But this video is going to be different. We will cover everything in detail and like break it down this problem into 4 easy steps to get to our solution. So let's without wasting time, let's get into the description of the problem, because I know this video is going to be very long, but stick by. You will thank me later, like once you go through the entire video, like how easy will make this problem solution. Given a list of accounts where each element at accounts I is a list of strings, where the first element accounts at 0th index is the name and rest of the elements are emails representing that account. Now we would like to merge these accounts. Why? Because two accounts definitely belong to the same person if there are some common emails among these two different accounts. They'll have same name, that has to be there, but it's not because of the name, it's because of the common email we are merging them. Two different accounts can have the same name, but they might belong to different people if there are no common email between those accounts. That is the core of understanding this problem. Now, after merging the accounts, return the accounts in the following format. The first element of each account is going to be the name. Rest everything will be emails in sorted order. Remember this. Okay. Now the accounts themselves can be returned in any order. All right. So let's get into the problem. Let's move on to the conceptual part. Right here, guys, these are the accounts given to us. I have like modified the first example just a little bit to make things interesting. And so what are we actually returning? So we are given these accounts. So this is one account, this is another account, and these are another account. These different accounts belong to different people, or they might belong to some accounts might be shared by just one person. So what do I mean by that? So if you see right here, let's go to the first account. First account has the name John. John's emails are basically j@mail.com, joe@mail.com. Now second account is also John, but it's not guaranteed that they belong to the same person, because two different people can have the same name. But if you go through the emails of John, again the second account, first email is different, but the second email is Joe, which is common with first account. So that means they belong to the same person. We have to merge them. And after merging them, this is what we will be returning basically. So merged account will be a list, and the first would be the name of the person, John, and then these are going to be all the emails. So I'll just cut these from here. So maybe both of these. So these will be like right here next to the John, and I shouldn't have it as column, but I hope you can see it. Yes. And then you see, because we are merging these, so this particular email will also be moved to here. So this is the answer we are constructing. All right, we're constructing the answer. Now let's move on to the next account. Next account is Mary. Now Mary has two emails, these two emails. So this will be basically, there are no other Marys, or there are no other emails later that are shared. So this itself will be a merged account. Okay, so I'll just copy it and then move right here to my answer. And then the last one is John. Although you can see that John here, there are 3 John accounts. These two are common, but this one is, its email is jn@mail.com, so it does not share, this email doesn't appear in any other account. So this account belongs to a different person, a unique person. So what we'll do is we'll also move this to the answer, just like that. So this right here, guys, will be the answer. This is what we need to do. This is what we need to return. That is my answer. So that's right there. So there are basically 3 unique accounts that we have. We are merging some common account that shared emails, not the name, emails. Name, although it's going to be same because it belongs to the same person, but we are not merging based on the name, we're merging based on the emails. Core of understanding the problem. Let's move on to how we are going to actually do it. So there are 4 steps. There are 4 steps that we need to do to get our answer. What are those 4 steps? Those 4 steps are right here. I've just written it already for us. First is assign an ID to every unique email and remember the name. Okay, so that is for basically these unique emails that we have. They belong to some people, some person, but it's the email that's the ID. So we'll assign like these number IDs to these unique emails, and then also remember what name is associated with that email. So let's go over this. So these are the unique emails that I've written right here. These are the unique emails in our example, first example. So what I'll do is I'll assign an ID to these emails. Okay, so let's start our ID. So this is the first step that we are following. So we'll assign, and I'm gonna just like copy this. So the first step is assign an ID to each and every unique email and remember the name. So that we can do using 2 different dictionaries. First dictionary would be, let's call it email to ID. So email to ID. So this dictionary will be basically storing each email as key and then an ID. We can start these IDs at 0. All right, and then another, let's create email to name, to remember the name associated with each email ID. Email to ID. So first thing would be these IDs 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember, these different emails might belong to the same person, right? We have just basically, I went through all these different accounts, and then I basically created keys of these unique email IDs, and then I have associated each email with a unique ID, and also I'm going to associate each email with their name as well. All right, so I will have another dictionary right here, this dictionary right here, which will store email associated with these unique email right here. So I will, first email is John, if you remember. Next is also John, third is also John, fourth is Mary. So I'm just storing the names. Okay, so this has nothing to do, it's just the first step. We are creating these unique email IDs and assigning these number IDs to them. The reason is so that it will become easy for us to union these accounts if they belong to the same person. All right, so then the last one is also John. All right, so this was the first step. Assigning this number IDs to each unique email IDs, and then also remember the name associated with each email. Our next step would be right here. Let me just copy it, which is union email within same account. What does that mean? So this is where I will basically create basically this union find data structure. Basically we'll have a class. I will copy the code that we have already written for union and find, so I will have that created. And now what I'm going to do is union these different emails together if they belong to the same person. So how do we do that? So first thing is I will be visiting all these accounts. Let me just copy it also. Let me copy this as well. Oh my god, how hard this needs to be. Okay, so copy, let's move it right here. So these are the accounts that we have. So what we will be doing is going over all these accounts and performing the union. So how do we perform the union? We will be visiting all these emails, all these accounts. Now for each email, for each email, let's assign the first email that you encounter as the base email. Find out its ID. So let's say we are visiting our first account, which belongs to John. First email would be the base email. Base email means let's create that ID or account or node, whatever you guys want to call it, as the base, the parent of all the other emails that might belong to the same person. So for John, I'm creating j@mail.com, which is the ID 0, So I'll just have 0 right here created. So let me, yes, I'm going to use this color. So 0 belongs to John. This, I'm creating it as one node. I'm creating it as base node, and from there, so Jmail has the ID 0, and then Joe, I'm going to visit next one. So these are the rest of the emails. There might be multiple emails. So I'm going to go through all those emails in this account. First one, I'm using it to create the base or parent. Then I'm going to visit all of them, find their IDs. So Joe's ID is 1, and union them together. So I will do the union. I will write union A and B. So union will basically try to find the parent of A, parent of B, and then if they are not already same, then basically assign B's parent to A. Please go see watch the union find video, or you would find it very familiar if you have already or you already know union find. So then I will assign one's parent to basically 0. Then I'm going to visit the next account. JS is a separate email. Although it's not basically right here. It does have basically its ID is 2. So what I'll do is union 2, and Joe is actually 1. Right here. You can see joe@mail.com is 1, but union, before even merging them, assigning their parents, it will try to find what is the parent or root parent of 2, which is 2 itself. Right now 2's parent is itself. 1's parent is 0. So it will assign 2's parent also 1, because 1's parent 0 is already like part of the graph. It already exists. So what it'll do is assign the 2's parent to 0 right here, like this. Then it's going to visit the next. So we are done visiting this one. Let's move on to Mary. First email, get the ID, create it as the base email ID. Then 3 right here. That's a separate account. Now what we'll do is, and then visit all the remaining accounts. So m@mail.com, its ID is right here, which is 4. So let's union 3 and 4. So for unioning 3 and 4, we'll just put into the union find, its function. So 3 and 4, 3's and 4, their parent right now, they're both parent of themselves. But now, because let's say if 3 is A, 4 is B, we will choose 3 as its parent and then assign it. I don't know why I'm going in detail of. I shouldn't, because we have already covered everything in union find. But let's just keep going. I know. Then John right here, its email, the base email is jn@mail.com. Although it's just one email, so we will just keep it like that. So this will be an account itself. So 5. All right, so if you see right here already, we have created basically 3 different disjoint sets right here. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So that means we already have our answer with us. Okay, so if you see the answer that we have returned initially, although I've erased it, but we had 3 different accounts, and you can see in these emails, these two need to be merged together. These two need to be merged together. This is the second account, and this is a separate third account. So these are 3 different accounts that we will be merging together. Not merging together, have them separate and return them as separate accounts. All right, so that's the second step. What is the third step? Third step is group emails by root email. Okay, group emails by root email. What does that mean? So what are the root emails right now that we have? These are the root emails. These are the root emails. So 3 right here, this is the root email, this is a root email, and this is a root email. So what I'll do is now let's move on to our third step, which is group emails by root mail. And I have copied all the email to ID dictionary that contains all these unique email IDs. We have already unioned these email IDs that belong to basically same account by our union find operation, and that also we basically did by going through these different accounts, creating the base emails, and then just unioning them. So now let's create another dictionary. Let's call it root to emails. So root to or parent to emails whatsoever. So right now we know we have three different roots. So we're gonna go one by one, visit all these keys and values right here. So let's say we are starting with our first one right here, this one. My god, I can't draw a star right now. Okay, this one. Its email ID is 0. And then create a list of all the emails that it's going to have. So first would be basically this one right here. So that's 1. We are going to add it to 0. Then joe@mail.com, this one, what is the parent of? So we are trying to find these, right? So this one right here, its parent is also 0 right here. One's parent is also 0. So I'm going to group that also. I'm going to put this basically also into the list of 0 as base, right? So root to mails. Now how about 2? Let's visit 2. 2's parent is also 0, so I'm going to put this email as well into my first list. Alright, so right here. Now I think that will be all for 0. Then let's visit Mary. Its ID is 3. 3's parent is 3 itself, so 3 will be the root, and then this email will be appended to basically its list. Okay, now 5th is basically m@mail.com. Its ID is 4. 4's parent is 3, so let's append it to 3. The key 3. Okay, now last one is 5. That's a disjoint set itself, so 5 will be right here. Alright, so now I've created this another dictionary called root to emails. Now it contains all the emails together, So now I have just one last step, and that last step is build merge accounts. So let's copy this, and this is my last step. And that last step is basically going through this dictionary right here, this root to mails dictionary right here, and then group all these emails, put them into one account, and for this ID or first email, you can say find the name. Where are the names? Names are right here. Okay, names are right here in this another dictionary that we just created, email to name. We have created it right in the beginning only. So what I'll do is I'm going to visit all these accounts, and next to their names, so I'll have John, Mary, and John. So John, Mary, and John as like these accounts, and next to them will be all these different emails. Okay, these different sets. So this will be for this John, this will be for Mary, and this will be for last John, and that will be our answer. I know it's a lot of steps, but I have done my best to break it down into 4 steps. And now let's move on to the coding part. And we might go back and forth. While coding, because I want to go through these different steps. Like I'll make notes of it, because it's definitely like is one of the complicated problem, I would say. that does require a lot of all right, so let's write the solution, and before that, let me just paste the union and find that we have already written yesterday, while writing the union find operation, understanding everything. So this is the union and find. Now let's move on to our problem. So as we said, we will have email to ID, email to, let's call it ID, this one dictionary, that email to name, another dictionary, and then have just unique next ID, so that we can assign unique IDs to basically these email to IDs. So now let's go over all the accounts. So I'll say for account, in accounts, name would be the first element, 0th element of the account. Rest everything will be email. So email in account, and let's go over everything starting the first index, because the 0th index is the name. Now if this email not in my email ID, so I will basically have that email as key and then assign it a unique ID that comes from next ID, and let's increment this ID for next email that we will find unique. All right, otherwise this email to name as well have to also have this email as the key and then name as the value. All right, now this was the first step. Let's comment it. First step was assign each email, or we can say unique email an ID, and remember the name. Remember the names. That is my step 1. I'm gonna write it step 1. What is my step 2? Step 2 was union. Step 2 was union these unique email IDs. Union emails using IDs. All right. So what do? We are going to again go over all these different emails. So we're going to go over all these different accounts again, right? All these different accounts again. And now we will start iterating. First thing would be that we don't care if there is just one email, right? If there is just one email, that means that email will already have a unique ID. I don't have to group it with, I don't have to care about grouping it with something else, because there is no other email to group it with. So if there is just one, so first thing would be like, if this length of account is actually the first thing is the name. So if this is less than or equals to 2, that means there is only one email, then I can continue. I don't have to worry about continue. I don't have to union one email with, like, because I have no other email to union it with. Now what I'm going to do is for email in this account, and I will start this at 2 this time until the end, and let me get the first email. I'm going to call it base email. Base email will come from account, the first value from this unique account. So that will be the base email, and let's get the base email ID, because I'm not gonna union them using the email. I have already assigned the IDs to it for a reason, right? So base email ID would be, I will get that from right here, email to ID, and I'm gonna send base email to it. Okay. Now this email that I see, I have taken the base email, I got its base email ID. Now this email's ID I will get it from also same place. So I'll just call it, so this email ID will also come from this email. So email ID, I should have written it the other way, but email to ID. okay, and this will be the email. Now this is another email ID. Now I have to union base email ID and email ID. So what I'll do is I forgot to create the union find, so I'll call it union find. Let's copy the class, this right here, and we can create, what should be the size of it? Well, the size we can get from next ID, because we have started with 0 and then we were incrementing each time you find a unique email. So we will, if you find, let's say 3 unique email, it will come out as 3. So 0, 1, 2, but here it will increment. So number would be 3. So there are 3 different accounts, 3 different nodes, sets, or whatsoever. So now I have union find, and this union find, I will do union find dot union. What do we union? Base email ID, and then email ID. All right. So our second step is over. What is my third step? My third step was create root to emails set or dictionary. All right, so I'll call it root. I hope you can see the code. Root to emails. All right. So for this, I will be visiting all the emails in the email to IDs. So I'll say I would say first thing, key is email, right? Key email, and then there is ID. So I can call it EID in email to ID dot items. Now what do we do? Well, this root to email will, let's find the parent of each email, or each email ID, I meant to say. So what would be the parent of, how do you find the parent? Well, you have union and find right here. That's what we will be using, and we'll be sending it just one email ID, each email ID, number ID, by the way, not the email ID. But so let's call it root. What is the root? So union find, sorry about this, union find dot find. What do you find? You find the EID. This will give you the parent. That parent, which it will return you basically this ID, and that ID is associated with unique email. So this email belongs to this ID, which is like this root. I would say it's a root ID. Okay, so this is a root ID. Now this email, now that was associated with this EID, now needs to be put into the root ID's key. So this right here, root to email, would be basically, let's create it a default dict of type list and store. So this email will take root ID dot append this email. All right. So now we have pushed all these emails to these different root IDs. Root IDs are the parent node that we created using the union operation, performing out union and find while going through these different unique emails. All right, not unique emails, but like just different emails, right, and grouping them all together. Now our last step is our fourth step. Fourth step is basically, now it's creating our answer. So step 4 is create merged account array. Right. So for this one, I'm going to create my answer merged as like empty list, and then 4, this time it creates root ID, and also has these emails. These are the list of emails. All right, in dot items, root to emails.items, and this is how you access it. So this root ID, although I don't know, I don't have any use of it, so I'll do the base email. Base email I really need to know, and the reason is first let's sort these emails.sort. Let's sort these. Then merged needs to have merge.append. What do we append? We append the name associated with the base email, or first email, you can say. These emails will have the first email, we can access it. Each email has the name associated with, so we can get any of the emails actually. So we already have like this list of different emails created, so I'll just call it name and get this name from send in any email. So email, I'll say emails, let's say 0. Okay, now this name in my answer, it needs to be the first element, and then all the emails. So email is itself a list, so let's combine list with the name as list, and then we can return finally this merged array. I know, oh my god, this was hell of a solution. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out, so I don't think you can see all the solution right here, but this is the union find. We already did it in another video, so I'm not going into it in detail, but this is my answer. And our first step is assigning each unique email ID an ID, and remember the names. Forgot to increment this ID that I had it in my mind. I will increment it, but then forgot to write, so that was a typo. Let's run it. Awesome. Let's try to submit it. Although let me tell you, this is basically the best solution. Don't go on this 10%. I don't know how people have solved it, but like union find was the best operation to do on it. So let's go into the time and space complexity. So the total time complexity would be let's say if the E is the total number of accounts for one particular account. Total emails is what we are processing here. Like account actually do not matter. So is the total emails. Total emails is what we are processing. And for if there are total E emails, and we also sort them, that belong to one account. So E is the maximum number of emails that belong to one account, and we do sort it. So sort is kind of like slowing it down, I would say. So for each E, log E, that would be our time complexity, and for space complexity would also be big of E. So total number of emails to ID, emails to name. That's what our main 2 dictionaries store. Rest everything is just bullshit. But anyway, done. It's already a long video, so let's just wrap it up. This is the entire code, and let's mark it done. See you guys later in the next problem. Until then, bye bye.